Hi. This week we're going to be looking at these. The kits from IP Engineering that I bought, of which I've got one already, which the camera is on. Ooh. Cue the metal. So like all good Blue Peter presenters, which might not mean anything to Australia, here is one I built earlier. They come as little laser cut sheets. All you have to do is just snap the bits out and then they just glue together. I just use, PVA glue. They got plastic wheels, little metal axles, and metal bearings that you have to glue into these wooden inserts. So I got two of these little carriages. This one is a slightly different design. It has end plates on, and I also got this easy range motor chassis, which is in the video I did the what's coming off on the railway thing. This is what I'm going to be using to convert into the Raspberry Pi controlled train. That's it really for these. I'll show you next what the kits look like before you put them together. And the other thing I should say is that these ship from the UK. They came in just a standard airmail envelope, and as you can see they're completely flat. I got 3 shipped, and Ivan, the guy who shipped them from IP Engineering, said, oh, it could be up to 8 weeks. And I think they came in under 2. Now obviously they're made of wood, not of metal, and they are done very cheaply, but the whole point of IP Engineering is that you can get G-scale models very, very cheaply, which someone who's just starting out means I can get 2 trains quite cheaply, instead of, if I was going to go and buy a Pico or a LGB or a Bachmann loco. I'm not even sure if all those make locos, but you understand what I'm saying. It'd be expensive to get them. So it's a good way, I think, to get more things to go on your railway. And it's really good if you're like me and you like scratch building stuff, or if you want to do something weird and make trains controlled by Raspberry Pis. Yep. I think that's all I want to say now. Now let's cut to the laser etched sheets. Bringing my assistant model engineer out. So this is, I'm not going to open the train because I'm nowhere near building that yet, but this is what you get inside the little flat pack kit. Two pieces of A4 paper. Yep. Front one just has a little picture and some bits that say what you need to use and read all the instructions. It says you need Araldite and good super glue. I did everything with my daughter's PVA glue. Seems to have worked alright. Not sure how you can actually build the real train. And then you get a single-sided, you want to go? She wants to leave. Oh, go! You get a single-sided instruction sheet of how to do it, which is okay to follow. Some things are a bit like, what does that mean? But I found it alright. And this is the etched sheet. Now this one has already kind of popped out, but you can see that basically it's a bit like an Airfix kit, but made of some kind of high density fiberboard. And you basically, I just use a craft knife and you just click out the little bits, and then just really easily glues together. They send you a wheel pack separate, which I haven't got out here, but it's because you can either get them for 45mm, which is G-scale, which is what I have, or you can get them for 32mm, which is used a lot in the UK, which is for modelling narrow gauge style railways. They give you a little bag of brass bearings, I guess they're brass, and yeah, it all just pops together or it doesn't pop together. It all just pops out and then glues together with PVA glue. And that's it. I was quite impressed at how easy the other kit was to put together. I was expecting it to be much harder. If you've put together an Airfix kit, this is way easier than that. Yeah, we should probably do something showing it put together. Right, so here we are in proper James May assembler style, going to build the Easy Range parcel wagon kit. Now, I'm going to do this in real time, but due to the constraints of YouTube, sections of it will be sped up so I can fit into the maximum length of this video. So the first steps I'm going to show you are the tools. Very exciting. Number one, a craft knife. Doesn't need to be that sharp because you're not really cutting anything big, but it does need to be that. Standing knife would work too. Don't think a pen knife would do much. Number two, this is a very small bit of sandpaper, but a bit of sandpaper, because once you have finished chopping off the little things, they leave a bit of a bump. Glue to glue it all together. That is it. Now, in the kit itself, as you've already seen, you get the wooden parts, get a little bag of brass bearings. Now, I didn't show this earlier, that they give you 4 wheels, 2 axles, and then I'm going to leave these all in the little bags so they don't get lost, but because they have 2 different sizes of wheels you can get, they actually give you a 32mm and a 45mm measuring spacer. Basically, you line that between the wheels and it gives you the right width of the track, which I'll show you when we come on to that later. So, first step is popping out all of the little bits with the knife. And I think now we will move to fast forward. Welcome back. Now, I have done enough bits for the first part of the instructions here and here. Now, I don't know if you can see this, probably not because the camera's not good enough quality, but there's little bumps there. Now, I'm lazy, so I just use a craft knife and I just go over them a bit instead of using the sandpaper, because the bump's not really that big. Obviously be very careful when you do this, because if you're doing it towards you, normally these things have got razor blades in and therefore are very sharp if you happen to stick it into your finger. The plan is not to stick it into your finger, because then you'll bleed, and bleeding, as we all know, especially when you're making model trains, is bad. I'm going to do this on the other 2 bits, so this is another fast forward. Go! And welcome back. I've now done the little craft knife bit, so just do a little bit of sandpaper, and this wood is not very hard on these kits, so it doesn't take very much just to smooth it off. Do that across all the bits, and then onto the gluing. So I'm just using, I'd never heard of this stuff before. In the UK this is just PVA glue, but Elmer's glue, my American wife tells me, is what every kid in America uses, and is what we had for my daughter, but it works just exactly the same as the wood glue that you can buy from Bunnings or any other home place. Now, in the instructions it says, glue floor to end of wagon at 12mm from bottom of the end. Check for square. Repeat for other end. Check for square as shown in picture right. So this shows that it is glued just below that top line. So I am going to do that on both of my ends and then go on to the second section. Having a bit of problem keeping those glued together, so I've just gone and propped it up over there, hoping that will let it stick. Now to the bearings. There's only 4 of these and they're very small, and if you lose them then the train is buggered. Okay, so there is an axle and there is a wheel. They're quite simple. They just push to fit, one at each end. Make sure that they are the right way around, so the little lip is on the inside because it goes on the inside of the rail, and then do the same on the other one. Now the trick now is using this little thing, it's putting it between the wheels like so, and then pushing them both in an amount so they both have enough axle sticking out the end of the wheels to go into the bearings. I think that looks pretty good. 2 things to carry the wheels, 2 things to connect to the other end, 2 sets of wheels. Has the end of the carriage dried. It's dried enough to do the other end. So now let's glue the other end. This, I guess, is one problem of using PVA. If you were using super glue, you could just hold this and it would be done in seconds. It's lined up. I'm going to go and put this back over there to dry. And I think we may just have to have a pause whilst this all dries. When I come back, we can do the rest. And I will come back now. Hey, you came back. Sorry, I was eating a cookie. It's now dried enough to do the next stage, which is see if these things fit underneath, which they do. It was all going so well. Got cocky and screwed it up. Right, get the wheels in and let's start again. Saved. Now, just put a bit more glue on the end of this. Excellent. And the final little finicky thing is they give you these little bits of wood which go up on the ends to make it look like they're bracing the other planks together. And here we have one finished. It still needs to be glue dried. Little carriage. I think, including the time it took for the glue to dry and me messing around with glue falling off, took about 45 minutes. So you could definitely get a whole railway up and running in an afternoon with enough of these IP engineering kits and enough PVA glue. That is it for the episode. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this little assembly and you enjoy this channel like all the other YouTubers out there, please like and subscribe because it helps me know people are watching and that I'm not just talking into the ether. Thank you. Choo choo.